I am delighted to be able to provide an introduction to this visual celebration of your graduation. Today represents the culmination of 4 crucial years. Years in which my colleagues, your teachers, have challenged you to think critically, to argue passionately, to question and to learn, and even on occasion to change your mind. I very much hope that this is a day you and your family will remember fondly for the rest of your lives. Those of you who graduate today have shared a unique experience. We hope you will continue to remember it and cherish it wherever your future path takes you. We hope you have enjoyed your time here and that the relationships you have formed and friendships you have made will remain with you as you leave.
Hiya, I'm from China. The reason why I chose St. Andrew is because it's a really beautiful town and the people here are the nicest people I've ever seen in my life.
The friends I made in St. Andrews will be the friends I made for life.
I'm originally from Leeds, and what I loved about St Andrews was the great community I found here.
I'm from Kazakhstan and I'm a student here in St Andrews. And I'm really glad to studying here, and it's really a nice place to study.
I've really enjoyed it here, loved every minute of it.
And I really like St Andrews to do my preclinical years here. Looking forward to going to Manchester to be in the hospitals.
Lived in the halls of residence for my first 2 years. Absolutely fantastic way to meet people.
I was lucky enough to be editor of The Saint last year, and it was one of the best experiences of my life.
And one of the best things about St Andrews has been being able to work with so many enthusiastic and talented people.
And the reason why I love studying in St Andrews is because of the different cultures that I've had to meet, and also because of the fact that the town is pretty small, so it means that you build close relationships with the people around you.
The academic staff provide great support, especially in the first year.
I've enjoyed my time in St Andrews so much. The friends that I've made I will have for life.
I think the best thing about St Andrews is the spirit and enthusiasm that all the students have.
We hope you will continue to take an interest in the university, to tell others about us, and to support our activities. As valued alumni of the university, we will continue to consider you part of the St Andrews community and our best ambassadors. And we hope that you will remember us always with pleasure, affection, and very great pride.
omnipotens et aeterne Deus, actiones nostras omnes aspirando praeveni et adjuvando prosequere, ut cuncta nostra operatio, et praesertum hoc quod nunc agredimur opus, a te incipiat et per te coeptum finiatur. Qua tenus sanctum nomen tuum glorificamus, et misericordia tua vitam aeternam consequamur, per Iesum Christum Dominum nostrum. Amen.
Please take a seat. Good afternoon. I'm delighted to welcome you to the University of St. Andrews. At this gathering, which officially is a meeting of the Senatus Academicus, we perform a number of rites of passage. Scholars become masters, masters become doctors, and persons of distinction are honored. During these rituals, which are conducted partly in Latin in accordance with St. Andrew's tradition, I will call upon the deans in turn to present candidates for degrees from their respective faculties. And then we'll say, for example, to the student about to graduate, I raise you to the rank of Master of Arts, and to symbolize this, I place upon you this cap. To most, though, we simply say, et super te, meaning, and upon you too. The precise moment of graduation occurs when the graduate's cap touches the head of the graduand. Now, the use of the master's cap, or buretum, is based on the procedure of the University of Paris, which was the model for St. Andrews when we were founded in the early 15th century. This is actually the first week in which I am presiding over St. Andrews graduation, so in order to learn what I ought to do and say, I looked at some DVDs of earlier graduations. And I noticed that my predecessors described this buretum as a piece of John Knox's breeks, or trousers. My immediate reaction on hearing this was, what an extraordinary and delightfully unique St. Andrew's tradition. My second reaction was, that's really pretty implausible. So, with the combination of research skills and skepticism that I hope every one of you graduates has acquired during your years here, I went to the library to investigate. I discovered a bill of sale for £2 Scots, which is about 16.5 pence, for the doctor's cap for the graduation of John Arbuthnot in 1696. Arbuthnot defended his thesis on September 11th, 1696, graduated in December, and went on to become personal physician to Queen Anne. He was also a famous political satirist and inventor of John Bull. As he graduated 124 years after Knox died, it is unlikely this cap was made from Knox's trousers. It has, however, been in use for 313 years, although you'll probably be relieved to know that it underwent significant restoration in 1989. After students have been awarded their degrees, members of the St. Salvator's Chapel Choir will then perform before we proceed to the presentation of the University Medal to Dr. Bill Stevenson and the graduation address. The ceremony will close with the benediction by the principal of St. Mary's College, and the new graduates will join the academic procession. Graduation is the highlight of the university year. We are delighted that you are here to share in the success of our graduates. I'd like to welcome you all, and especially our distinguished medalist. I hope that this is a memorable and happy day for each one of you. Decanus Facultatis Artium.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the degree of Master of Arts with honours Stephen Mackenzie.
Te ad gradum magistri artium promovio, cuius rei in symbolum super te hoc biratum impono.
Michael Payne.
Et super te.
James Abraham.
Et super te.
Jonathan Adlard.
Et super te.
Stephanie Bonk.
Et super te.
Fiona Dixon.
Et super te.
Catherine Duncan.
Et super te.
Ailsa Ferry.
Et super te.
Ian Gray.
Et super te.
Jason Lang.
Et super te.
Sean Prosser.
Et super te.
David Ritchie.
Et super te.
Kelly Sheck.
Et super te.
Rebecca Shields.
Et super te.
Dimitrios Simplis.
Et super te.
Jeremy Wilkins.
Et super te.
Takuji Yamahiro.
Et super te.
Rachel Bromelo.
Et super te.
Simon Tanner.
Et super te.
Fatima Adam Nasir.
Et super te.
Nason Ale Karyu.
Et super te.
Elsa Del Pino.
Et super te.
Linda Jönsson.
Et super te.
Fiona Case.
Et super te.
Philip Nelson.
Et super te.
Catherine Redding.
Et super te.
Kelsey Rose.
Et super te.
Philippa Sinclair.
Et super te.
Bo Garrido.
Et super te.
Mary Nace.
Et super te.
Michael Stevenson.
Et super te.
Maria Tabakova.
Super Te.
Yuan Zhang.
At Super Te.
Won Li.
At Super Te.
Alexander Gerhardsson.
At Super Te.
Andrew Matthews.
At Super Te.
Christina Meltel.
At Super Te.
Nolumi Modise.
At Super Te.
Stephen Poynton.
At Super Te.
Paula Sarmenio.
At Super Te.
Jiaxin Shu.
At Super Te.
Adele McGillivray.
At Super Te.
Anish Narendran.
At Super Te.
Cara Hayden.
At Super Te.
Vanessa Patton.
At Super Te.
Francesca Ainsworth.
At Super Te.
Jennifer Budd.
At Super Te.
Emily Codwell.
At Super Te.
Katrina Corbett.
At Super Te.
Kate Fisher.
At Super Te.
Judith Foley.
At Super Te.
Emma Gillingham.
At Super Te.
Lauren Hesp.
At Super Te.
Mark Horn.
At Super Te.
Lauren Hull.
At Super Te.
Robert Johns.
At Super Te.
Stephanie Jones.
At Super Te.
Christelle King.
At Super Te.
Sway Lei.
At Super Te.
Aisling McCarthy.
At Super Te.
Sandra Marchal.
At Super Te.
Claire Meany.
At Super Te.
Kimiko Mogami.
At Super Te.
Chantal Morris.
Et Super Te.
Georgina Narich.
Et Super Te.
Christine Otadola.
Et Super Te.
Jessie Parsons.
Et Super Te.
Fiona Reeves.
Et Super Te.
Catherine Simpson.
Et Super Te.
Graham Scally.
Et Super Te.
Maria Shlapchenska.
Et Super Te.
Julia Teal.
Et Super Te.
Joanna Waddington.
Et Super Te.
Eleanor West.
Et Super Te.
Uta Kreplin.
Et Super Te.
Alexander Griffiths.
Et Super Te.
And Vice-Chancellor, I ask you to confer the degree in absentia on Natasha Postalvine, Milad Purnik, Yuki Hiramatsu, Song Song, Jethro Vickery, Shuo Lu, and Leo Rasmussen.
Eos absentes, magistros artium renuncio.
Vice-Chancellor, I ask you to confer the degree of postgraduate diploma in absentia on Yasser Ali and Ikju Lee.
Eos absentes gradum diplomari renuncio.
Vice-Chancellor, I ask you to confer the degree of Master of Science in absentia on Malik Mukit Donov and Dimitri Salasidis.
Eos absentos magistres scientiae renuncio.
Vice-Chancellor, I ask you to confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in absentia on Simon Bowmaker.
Eum absentem philosophiae directorum. Decanus facultatis scientiae.
Vice-Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the degree of Master in Mathematics with Honours, Hannah Plotka.
Te ad gradum magistri mathematicae promovio, cuius rei and symbolum super te hoc beretum impono.
Alexander Stone.
Et Super Te.
Andrew Brown.
Et Super Te.
William Cotton.
Et Super Te.
Michael Crowther.
Et Super Te.
Steve Edmund.
Et Super Te.
Jonathan Fraser.
Et Super Te.
Jordan Guthrie.
Et Super Te.
Paul Kelly.
Et Super Te.
Robin Kennedy.
Et Super Te.
Rohan Krishnakumar. Et Super Te. Alan Logan. Et Super Te. Lucy MacArthur. Et Super Te. Fergus McGregor. Et Super Te. Louis Morgan. Et Super Te. Ian Nichol. Et Super Te. Hetal Patel. Et Super Te. Rachel Sowerby. Et Super Te. Quan Tam. Et Super Te. David Thong. Et Super Te. Alistair Wallace. Et Super Te. James Davis. Et Super Te. Nicholas Laughlin. Et Super Te. Zoe O'Connor. Et Super Te. Sam Robertson. Et Super Te. Donald Gorman. Et Super Te. Richard Mackay. Et Super Te. Alice Parry. Et Super Te. Tom Petrie. Et Super Te. And Vice-Chancellor, I ask you to confer the degree in absentia on Anna Jelic.
Eam absentam magistrum mathematicae renuncio.
Vice-Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the degree of Master in Physics with honours, Luke Blackburn.
Te ad gradum magistri in philosophia naturali promovio, cuius rei in symbolum super te hoc veratum impono.
Robert Fett.
Et Super Te.
Jean McMurdo.
Et Super Te.
Fiona Pate.
Et Super Te.
Vice-Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the degree of Bachelor of Science with honours, Sean Atkinson.
Te ad gradum baccalaureae scientiae promovio, cuius rei in symbolum super te hoc veratum impono.
Claire Rogowski.
Et Super Te.
Dugald Wallace.
Et Super Te.
Sunan Wang.
Et Super Te.
Ursulia Kerrick.
Et Super Te.
Robert McCubbin.
Et Super Te.
Kyle Menhinnick. Et Super Te. Isabel McIntosh. Et Super Te. Herman Hildam. Et Super Te. Christian Ludwig. Et Super Te. James Mann. Et Super Te. Emma Alcock. Et Super Te. Catherine Allen. Et Super Te. Paul Archibald. Et Super Te. Michael Bird. Et Super Te. Hannah Cunningham. Et Super Te. Andrew Daffin. Et Super Te. Paul Ferguson. Et Super Te. Aileen Fraser. Et Super Te. Claire Gillis. Et Super Te. Neil Govan. Et Super Te. Alan Harrington. Et Super Te. Louisa Hay. Et Super Te. James Hitchmore. Et Super Te. Benjamin Hoyer. Et Super Te. Zana Imentieva. Et Super Te. Natalie Levchenko. Et Super Te. Richard Lomax. Et Super Te. Craig McDougall. Et Super Te. Karen McElfatrick. Et Super Te. Duncan Mackay. Et Super Te. Jennifer McKenna. Et Super Te. Ian McLugash. Et Super Te. Morag McPherson. Et Super Te. Philip Mitchell. Et Super Te. Lindsay Rice. Et Super Te. Christopher Ripley. Et Super Te. Nicola Smith. Et Super Te. Emma Stacey. Et Super Te. Alan Stewart. super te. Hamish Toon. Et super te. Jason Tucker Feltham. Et super te. Graham Weatherup. Et super te. Mark White. Et super te. Catherine Gracie. Et super te. Felicity Wright. Et super te. Elspeth Lever. Et super te. Laura Bedford. Et super te. Jennifer Botting. Et super te. Christine Bross. Et super te. Rachel Callan. Et super te. Sarah Fletcher. Et super te. Kirsty Gorman. Et super te. Suzanne Litz. Et super te. Laura McCann. Et super te. Claire MacDonald. Et super te. Connie McFarlane. Et super te. Bridie Munger. Et super te. Jennifer Moore. Et super te. Charmaine Murray. Et super te. Eva Stina Millerine. Et super te. Gemma Pike. Et super te. Cecile Ringdahl. Et super te. Tamlin Watermeyer. Et super te. Elaine Fitzgerald. Et super te. Alistair Baxter. Et super te. John Story. Et super te. And Vice-Chancellor, I ask you to confer the degree in absentia on Richard Clark, Ian Henderson, Akinora Meno.
Eos absente scientia baccalaureus renuncio.
Vice-Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy for a thesis entitled Embedding Population Dynamics in Mark Recapture Models, Jonathan Bishop.
Te ad gradum doctores philosophiae promovio, cuius rei in symbolum super te hoc viretum impono.
For a thesis entitled Microscopic Applications of Holographic Beam Shaping and Studies of Optically Trapped Aerosols, Daniel Burnham.
Et super te.
For a thesis entitled Gestural Communication in Orangutans, Pongo pygmaeus and Pongo abelii, a Cognitive Approach, Erica Cartmill.
Et super te.
For a thesis entitled Developmental Mechanisms Influencing Decision Making, Paul Escalante Mead.
Et super te.
For a thesis entitled Equilibrium and Dynamics of Collisionless Current Sheets, Michael Harrison.
Et super te.
For a thesis entitled Resonances for Graph-Directed Markov Systems and Geometry of Infinitely Generated Dynamical Systems, Martial Hiller.
Et super te. Congratulations.
For a thesis entitled Anti-Predator Behavior of Gariza colobus Monkeys, Colobus gariza, Anne Schell.
Et super te.
For a thesis entitled Balanced Gravity Waves and Jets in Turbulent Shallow Water Flows, Gemma Shipton.
Et super te.
For a thesis entitled The Contour Advective Semi-Lagrangian Hybrid Algorithm Approach to Weather Forecasting and Freely Propagating Inertia Gravity Waves in the Shallow Water System, Robert Smith.
Et super te. Congratulations.
For a thesis entitled In Homogeneous Self-Similar Sets and Measures, Nina Snigariva.
Et super te.
For a thesis entitled Culture and Social Learning in Chimpanzees, Pan Troglodytes, and Children, Homo sapiens, Anthony Spiteri.
Et super te.
For a thesis entitled Development and Application of a Global Magnetic Field Evolution Model for the Solar Corona, Anthony Yates.
Et super te.
And Vice-Chancellor, I ask you to confer the degree in absentia on Marietta Dindo.
Eam absentem doctorem philosophiae renuncio. I call upon Professor Gary Taylor, School of Biology.
Vice-Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the award of the University Medal Dr. William Stevenson. During this graduation ceremony, we have all enjoyed the fruits of Dr. William, or Bill, Stevenson's many talents. As university organist, he entertained us as we assembled, and he will play us out again at the end of the ceremony. The chapel choir, of which he is the choir master, have just provided us with an exquisite musical interlude using his own song arrangements. The observant among you may have spotted Bill's subtle wit as he married Mendelssohn's The Wandering Musician with the German traditional I Love to Go A-Wandering. One of the best couplings of recent years was Robert Burns' My Love is Like a Red, Red Rose, coupled with Joe South's I Never Promised You a Rose Garden. Bill was educated in Aberdeen, at its grammar school and at its university, where he graduated with an MA in music. In the same year, he became a Fellow of the Royal College of Organists, the highest qualification an organist can hold. Bill then moved into school teaching, his last post being as principal teacher of music at Morgan Academy in Dundee. However, in 1988, the position of university organist at this university became vacant, and Bill's fine musicianship won him the post. In 1991, he also became choirmaster of the University Chapel Choir, and finally waved goodbye with not a tear in his eye to Morgan Academy and its fine pupils who considered dismantling the piano as a good music lesson. At St Andrews, the talents of the ever-modest Bill were allowed to blossom. He rehearses and conducts a choir of some 45 undergraduates and postgraduates who accompany each Sunday service during term. For the past 15 years, he has also taken the choir on extensive trips to the continent, including the Czech Republic, Germany, Hungary, Italy, the Netherlands, and Spain. This Easter, the choir visited northern France, singing in several places, including Rouen Cathedral and La Trinité in Paris. The university can be justly proud of Bill and his choir, who have acted as fine ambassadors for St Andrews, promoting excellence that is the hallmark of this university. The choir are to him an extended family, and all the choirs over the years have the utmost love and respect for him. St Andrews stopped awarding music degrees many years ago, but has maintained a thriving music centre that provides opportunities to students and staff who wish to make music. Bill has, however, put music back onto the academic agenda by devising and teaching 5 new music modules that are available to any undergraduate in their first and second years. His motivation was to provide student musicians with the information and skills required to participate fully in music making when they left the university. His own academic development has not stood still either. In his spare time, he studied for an MPhil at Dundee University, awarded in 1982, and for a PhD at this university, awarded in 2004, with the title Excellence in Scottish Church Music. Bill has given many successful organ recitals in St Andrews and has provided sensitive accompaniment to countless musicians in lunchtime concerts. He has also played for hundreds of weddings in the university chapel and has learned not to bat an eyelid when people ask for the theme from Star Wars as their exit music. Although he did draw the line at Unto Us a Son is Born during the signing of the register, feeling it a little premature. He has also run the annual St Andrews Summer Organ School for the last 20 years, where enthusiasts from across the country make use of the many fine instruments that this small town possesses, including 3 belonging to this university. Something I know from personal experience is that Bill is a superb teacher of the organ. He combines an encyclopedic knowledge of the complex instrument and its repertoire, infinite patience, boundless enthusiasm, oodles of encouragement, and above all, a brilliant sense of humour. Perhaps it is being in control of an instrument that can take up half the side of a cathedral that has given organists a certain reputation. Someone once wrote, "The organ is only mastered by those with supreme intelligence, unparalleled coordination, unsurpassable skill, incomparable expertise, ravishing good looks, and unquestioned modesty. The organist is the source of all wisdom and the fount of all knowledge. It is for this reason that the organist must be recognized as the final authority on all matters musical and religious. His decision must not be questioned by those holding lower ranks, such as the vicar." How much of this applies to Bill, I couldn't possibly say. What I can say is that Jamie Walker, the university chaplain, has had nothing but total support from Bill, who has worked way beyond his paid hours to ensure success. Music is a universal language that transcends social and political boundaries. Victor Hugo once wrote, "Music expresses that which cannot be put into words and that which cannot remain silent." Purcell's beautiful setting of Dryden's text, "Music for a while shall all your cares beguile," does precisely that. Music can restore, it can heal, it can make us laugh, it can make us cry. Through his musicianship, generosity, and collegiality, Bill has enriched the lives of countless of students, staff, and townsfolk. When he retires in August, many of us will miss him enormously, and he will be a very hard act to follow. Vice-Chancellor, in recognition of his selfless contribution to enriching the tapestry of life at this university through music, I invite you to award the University Medal to Dr. William Stevenson.
I call upon Professor Jan Bebbington, School of Management.
Thank you. I'm very aware that I'm the only person who now stands in the way of you enjoying the rest of your day, celebrating with friends and families your graduation from this university. You may indeed recognise in this ceremony our usual academic tendency of taking just one last chance to try to squeeze in just a little bit more information before class finishes. I would not have taught many of you here today, but I'm speaking on behalf of your teachers when I express our great joy at your transition from being a student at St Andrews to being a member of our broader academic family. I would like to start, however, by talking briefly about the very start of your time with us. I recall one evening a few years ago when I attended what we call the Parents' Evening at the start of the academic year. Students may be unaware of this event. It is for parents to come and talk to teaching staff, to ask questions about option choices, contents of modules, how assessment is conducted and such like. As you can imagine, although the evening appears to be an information session, it's actually much more than this. While it may be hard to imagine and remember now, the time when you first arrived here was fraught for those who were leaving you here for the first time. In particular, I recall that what the then Dean of Science said at that gathering. He acknowledged and spoke about a parent's natural anxiety at leaving a daughter or a son to fend more or less for themselves, to make their own decisions and to make their own mistakes, and for their family home to be less full than it once was. He promised that the university would do its best to look after you, within the bounds of what is possible given that you come to us as adults. Most importantly, he promised that we would return you to your families changed, and changed for the better. While you are in many ways the same person who joined the university, I do hope that you have changed. Of course, you know a great deal more about your chosen subject, and indeed other subject areas as well. You will have more sophisticated skills in terms of preparing written work, making presentations, and being able to work through the night to meet a deadline. Likewise, you would have learned to be tolerant of the opinions of others exactly at the time as your own opinions had become more deeply formed and held. But most importantly, I hope that the mixture of the formal and the informal part of your experience at St Andrews would have changed how and what you think about the world and what role you see for yourself in that world. This combination of changes brings to mind the work of Sir Patrick Geddes, a Scotsman of some fame who is often described as the father of town planning because of the work that he did in the old town of Edinburgh, transforming slums into more livable places. The principles that he espoused have been used around the world, perhaps most notably within India. Geddes was also a professor of biology at this university, although based in Dundee when that institution was part of this institution. Having noted that, he was also a philosopher. Here we have someone who was into interdisciplinarity, as well as someone who was interested in using knowledge to transform the world in a practical sense. He also wrote extensively about education and ways of knowing, and used the analogy of heads, hands, and hearts. When he spoke of heads, he was thinking in terms of developing reasoning, the acquisition of ideas, and the manipulation of knowledge for specific ends. Much of your efforts over the last 4 years, and more for those of you graduating with higher degrees, will have focused very firmly on head knowledge. At the same time, Geddes also believed that hands should be involved in education, with this encompassing practical knowledge gained from the use of one's physical self. For example, to understand food production, he would involve students in growing food, in eating food, in the belief that this experience would reinforce their head knowledge and that seeing is believing. Finally, he wrote about hearts. That is how knowing about the world should be accompanied by an emotional response. For example, it's all very well and good to read about poverty, oppression, or war. It's quite another thing to feel in your heart the reality of such things. Likewise, it's one thing to read about joy, love, and hope, and another to feel and to hold on to those emotions. Geddes was actively interested in feelings as well as ideas because the two are always intimately connected. Using Geddes' framework, I hope that we have nurtured not only your heads, but your hands and your hearts, and that you'll use all three in the future. In keeping with the transition to new places, I'd like to read to you an extract from a letter that I received from a student who graduated last year. Some 3 months after she graduated, she wrote me this letter, and it struck me that one of your near peers may be able to better describe what may happen next. And the student wrote, I started working in September, and I'm starting to realise that the mysteries of the world of grown-ups that I was so baffled by when I was 8 are not really interesting. From my action research thus far, adults don't really know what they're doing. It's been a bit of an earth-shattering discovery. Later on, she notes, to further perpetuate my theory that there is no objective truth in the world, I also find myself an independently contracted international development consultant. I had circulated my CV and was shocked to find myself with this job. I'm not sure if they were desperate or they made a mistake. I am internally bemused as I conference call from my kitchen, dressed in my pyjamas. Working from home is another one of the great mysteries of life revealed for what it really is. Bizarre hours, constant interruptions, and a laughably lax dress code. I hear that this girl Barbara is still doing very well and is still working in her pyjamas. And I offer you her words as an indication that you'll keep on learning as you move forward in time. I hope that you, like Barbara, will discover that you are in fact well equipped to join the world of the grown-ups. I hope you'll be bemused by what you find there, and that you'll have the confidence just to get on with it, even if you don't know really exactly what you're doing all the time. As your teachers, we will not necessarily see what you do when you leave us, but I do hope that you'll let us know how you're getting on from time to time. You should not be shy about being and staying in touch. Speaking for myself, it's always a joy to hear from ex-students and to find out what they are doing, what they're being stimulated to think about by their experiences, and what hopes they have for their futures. I'm sure that your futures will be full of joy, but also naturally laced with some pain. A few of you will go on to achieve public acclaim and distinction, like Dr. Stevenson, who has just been awarded the University Medal today. Many of you will make your mark on the world without attracting such attention, but your mark will still be significant all the same. And while your impact may well be in your chosen profession, I hope it will be felt through service within your community as well. Most importantly, I also hope that how you love and cherish those closest to you will leave a lasting legacy. Indeed, we look forward to meeting many of those who have loved and cherished you before and during your time with us. And those friends and families gathered here today, I'd like to formally thank you for entrusting your loved one to us in this institution for part of their journey through life. It has most certainly been our pleasure to have them here. Finally, I'd like to say kia ora, or be well in the language of my country. I wish you all the very best for whatever your future plans may be and wherever they may take you. Remember that you always have a home here in St Andrews, and that you'll be always remembered with much fondness by your teachers.
Please stand for the benediction. Gratia Domini Nostri Jesu Christi et caritas Dei et communicatio Spiritus Sancti sit cum omnibus nobis in saecula saeculorum. Amen.